Hi, this is Sarah from Sassy Reads, and I am unhauling a bunch of books. I've already gotten rid of a few of them. I gave about 6 or 7 of those to my sister. They included like Hush Hush, Radiant by Karina Sumner Smith, some other ones I can't really remember. I think I gave her Looking for Alaska. I unhauled a bunch. I also gave some books to my friend. They included like He's Gone by Deb Coletti, Evermore by Alison Noel. Got that one off my shelf. I think The Dark Elite by Chloe Neal. I can't really remember all of them, but I'm going to go through these quickly. So the first set I have is Fallen and Torment. I'm getting rid of these books because I'm just not really interested in keeping them on my shelf anymore. I read Fallen back in the day, and back in the day I liked it a lot, but I also didn't really love it that much. And now that I reflect on it, I'm not really interested in it. I don't think it's very well written, and it does have a very beautiful color, as well as Torment, but again, not interested in picking these up. And I'm sure there will be another young adult or adult reader who will love these much more than I. The next book that I'm getting rid of is a book that I DNF'd last year. This is how I know that I'm not interested. It is Swoon by Nina Malkin. This has an interesting premise because it follows a boy who ends up, he's like a devil. His name is Sin, ha ha ha, and he possesses this girl's cousin. I did not like the first chapter. I'm not interested. I thought it was problematic. Not for me. Someone else will enjoy. The next 2 books that I have are The Return of Nightfall and The Return Shadow Souls. These are the first and the second in like the spin-off trilogy of the Vampire Diaries. I read this one back when I like loved the Vampire Diaries, and I didn't like this one this much. I gave it 3 stars even though I loved the Vampire Diaries. Not for me. It was also really, really big. I did not like that. And then there was this weird like kitsune theme that just didn't fit. Then I tried to read this one afterwards, and I think I got to around page 78, and then I DNF'd it before I even knew what DNFing was, and never picked it back up. Don't want to pick it back up. I am done with the Vampire Diaries series, but I will keep the original 4 novels that I had in the bind-up because they have a special place in my heart, and I can't get rid of those. The next couple of books that I have, I'm going to have to pick all these up. Okay, I have 16 by Julia Carr. I think this is a pretty cool cover. This is a YA dystopian that follows a world where at 16 you are given the 16 tattoo. And I enjoyed this a lot when I read it, but the sequel came out, never really picked it up. The 3rd book still hasn't come out, so I'm kind of like, heh. I don't know how to feel about it. So someone else will love it, someone else may pick up the sequel. It may be a life-changing book for them. Wasn't for me. Next book is Prophecy of the Sisters by Michelle Zink. I do not like this cover for it. Usually I like kind of statuesque covers, but this one is just And then I have like this weird old dusty hardcover that I got at the library sale. Nah. I read it, I tried way back when. Never really got into it. I think I actually only read the first chapter and then I put it down and never had the inclination to pick it back up. And I read a couple pages ahead and I was like, So someone else will actually get to that one at some point. The next one I have is The Brokenhearted by Amelia Kahani. This one is actually signed, so this one makes me a little sad to get rid of because it is signed. I won it in a giveaway from Epic Reads, but the reviews for this, it's about a girl who like ends up becoming a superhero, but like, I don't know, the reviews for this, especially from some of my friends, have really turned me off from it, and I'm just not motivated and interested in picking this one up. So someone else will love this one, I am sure. The next one is Matched by Ali Kandi. I really love this cover, but I don't want to keep a book just because I love the cover. Also, the inside is really cool. Like, I never really noticed that it was white before, and I like that. But, yeah, Matched, I read it when I was sick, and I, like, read it in a day. It was fun when I read it, but I also saw that it was a little boring, and I don't think if I had put it back down instead of speed reading through it, because I was sick and had nothing else to do, I probably would have DNF'd this because it's not a very captivating story. But again, someone else may absolutely adore this and really find a trilogy for them. Plus, it's a pretty cool book to own since it has a really nice cover. Then I have a, I don't know if this is controversial anymore, but I am getting rid of The Maze Runner by James Dashner. This is kind of hard for me to get rid of because it has Dylan O'Brien's face on the back, and I love me some Dylan O'Brien, but I don't like The Maze Runner. I finally finished writing my review for this. I gave it like 2 stars, and now I'm like, I can get rid of it. I can throw this away. Not like throw it away, but I can give this to somebody else, sell it. I don't know, I'm getting rid of it. I don't like The Maze Runner. I thought it was boring, and that says something. To me, it worked more like a screenplay, which is why I like the movie. I recommend the movie. Ditch the book. If you want to know where I stand, I'm going to grab a bunch of these since I have a bunch of paperbacks. Okay, books are falling and flying, naturally. The next one I have is 22YL by Lauren Miracle. I hunted this book down, like, back in the day. Like, I got lucky, found this at my used bookstore. I really enjoyed it. It's told in IMs. It's a lot of fun for when you're a kid. But again, I don't have a deep connection to this trilogy other than the fact I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun reading these books, but I only own the first one, and then I don't love them enough to want to keep them. So they are going goodbye. I'm sure a child will absolutely adore them like I did. I thought they were so much fun. The next one I have is Story of a Girl by Sarah Zarr. Funny story with this one. When I was reading this, I was throwing up. So just looking at this book, I'm kind of like, like I don't have the fondest of memories when thinking of it. I was really, really excited to pick this book up because on Goodreads, it was huge. A lot of my good friends loved it. I thought it was boring. It's not for me, so adios. The next one I have may be controversial, but it also may not, because I've heard that this one is his kind of suckiest novel. I'm just over John Green. This one's Abundance of Catherines. I love this cover, and I almost wanted to keep it for that. But then I reflected, I read some reviews, and I realized John Green isn't for me. John Green and I have just parted ways. If he releases a new novel, who knows when that will be, I may pick it up, but I don't like his earlier works at all. Like, I'm not a John Green fan, I have come to realize. The next book I have is Nightshade by Andrea Cremer. This one has a really cool but also ugly cover at the same time, like weird wolf transformation. When I read this one, I liked it. But even then, like, I had conflicting emotions with it. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it. A lot of the pacing was super slow. This is a little bit of a chunkier YA novel, that's for sure, especially for paranormal romance. But I also know how this love triangle plays out, and I don't like that at all. So, cop-out book series for me that I don't want to get involved in. The next one I have is The Vampire Stalker by Alison Van Diepen. I love this story. It's about a girl who ends up like falling in love with this vampire story, and the character ends up coming into her world. It's cute, it's fun, but again, not really anything worth keeping. The next one I have is Dead Beautiful by Yvonne Loon. I really enjoyed this one when I read it, and I almost kept it, but I don't really want to read the series, so I don't really want to keep it because I feel like it's not complete and it's just taking up space, and I want somebody to find this and love it because I really think it's a good story. And so I'm gonna cut this off. This is part 1. I have a few more to get through. The next part won't be nearly as long, but those are just some of the books that I'm unhauling, and I'll see you in my next unhaul. Bye!